In March of last year, Minecraft brought add-ons to Bedrock and completely changed the game forever. Some of these are silly and fun little changes, while others are more impactful and fully change the gameplay experience. One of those investment-worthy additions is Tinker's Construct. This is one of the biggest and most in-depth mods I have played all year. Hello everyone, my name is Wolf, and in today's video we are going over everything from start to finish inside of Tinker's Construct. This will be a full in-depth tutorial to help you guys learn how to start, how to progress, what's been added since release, and everything else that this add-on has to offer. Tinker's Construct is a port of an original Java mod, but for the version in today's video, you can simply just download it straight from the Minecraft Marketplace. There is a Lite version, which is free, and a full paid version, which at the time of filming this is 990 Minecraft coins. That is only about $6 US. If you don't have the spare cash, don't worry, the Minecraft Marketplace runs sales all the time, so keep a lookout for those. If you already have it downloaded, click on this icon, it sort of looks like a bookshelf, to make sure that your add-on is up to date. Tinker's was recently updated to the 2.0 version, which added a slew of new features, upgrades, bug fixes, and quality of life changes. Now, what is Tinker's Construct? It is, at its core, a complex and very intricate crafting system. It lets you create and customize a wide range of tools and weapons using special crafting stations that allow you to combine different materials to add unique abilities. This add-on also includes a smeltery for melting down ores and forging metal parts. I keep referring to this as the blacksmith add-on, as you really get a sense of having to build your tools and weapons from scratch. Using molds and forges to craft over hundreds of different combinations, it's perfect for players who love the technical and creative aspects of Minecraft. While this doesn't fully replace the original crafting system in vanilla Minecraft, it gives the option to go a step further and personalize your tools than the original game. The crafting system isn't all that Tinker's brings to the table either. With new mobs, new ores, and even new armors, this add-on is well worth a try. When starting out, you'll be given your first guidebook, called Materials and You. This is the first of 5 books that will help you through the process to become a master tinker. In order to truly become a master tinker though, you'll need to look the part. Good news, if you combine some copper with leather, you can make the Traveler's Armor. This is simply a stronger version of the leather armor, and it can even be upgraded to gold if you prefer the more lavish aesthetic. But we'll get into more of that a little bit later in the video. Your first step is to create a mold or pattern. 2 sticks and 2 planks will make a Blake template. You can also craft a Tinker's themed crafting station, but this isn't necessary, any old crafting station will work. Using your blank pattern, you now need to craft a stencil table by combining it with any type of plank. These tables come in multiple different colors, so you can match to any theme that you wish. The stencil table is where you will be creating the individual part molds. Here's where you will select between which blade, handle, guard, or tool head you want to make. You will at the same time need to craft a part builder table by using that same recipe you did to make the stencil table. The part building table is where you will now select the material you want your tool to be made of. At this point, you only have access to create tier 1 tools, meaning wood, stone, or bone. Each one of these has different traits, and the traits are very similar to enchantments, but are intrinsic to the material used for each tool. As for the tier 1 traits, wood gives the cultivation trait, which gives you an increased chance for getting extra drops from all crops. Stone grants the summoner trait, which has a small chance to spawn a silverfish and an endermite when breaking stone or end stone respectively. And lastly, bone, which grants the undead trait. Striking an undead mob like a zombie or a zombie pigman will automatically transform them into a skeleton. This also makes it so that any mob defeated will also drop bone or bone meal. A nice addition for those of you who play on peaceful mode or maybe doing a pacifist run, you will now be able to more easily get your hands on string. Combining 4 fiber will make 2 string, and you need string to make the bonding agent when building some of your tools. Now, fiber can be collected from just destroying grass and other vegetation. Combining a part pattern with a tier 1 material will make a piece of a tool or a weapon. Now that you have your parts, you'll need 2 more crafting stations. One is the Tinker's Station, and the other is the Tinker's Anvil. The Tinker's Station is made with one of those blank templates, a log of any kind, and a crafting station. This is where you will be able to combine your tool pieces to make fully fledged tools like axes and pickaxes, but also two new items, the dagger, which is a lightweight alternative to the sword, and the shool, which is a combo of both a gardening hoe and a shovel. The Tinker's Anvil will do the same, but for armor, swords, and the new cleaver, which is a much larger, harder hitting sword, but a little bit slower. Now technically there are 3 different anvils, one made with iron, one with copper, and one with diamond. And as far as I can tell, there's nothing different between them. It's just another aesthetic option. But if you guys find a difference, let me know down in the comments. Another thing to mention is that Tinker's items are not repaired the same as normal items. You no longer have to wait to get mending or combine multiple items. You can actually make repair kits. These can also be made with stencils mixed with the material of the tool. In order to use the repair kit, hold it in your hand and then right click or hit left trigger. This will move the kit to your offhand. Place the item you want to repair in your hotbar and hover over it. To select it, right click or press left trigger will then consume the kit and fully repair your item. Tinker's tools and weapons also have extra information in the UI. Now you can scroll over an item to see more information like the total durability, the damage, and any traits or modifiers that may have been added, which I'll talk about more in a minute. You'll also get a notification when your weapon has only 10 durability left, and again when it hits 1 durability remaining. Congratulations! That is essentially book 1. Now we can move on to the next book called Puny Smelting. To make this book, combine a regular book and a new block called Grout, which is made with gravel, sand, and clay. Grout is very important because you'll need it to make a crucial new building block called Seared Brick. Seared Brick is made by just putting grout into a furnace. Now Feed the Beast did a great job adding customization into this add-on, allowing multiple different versions of the same block or station. Take Seared Brick for example. You can add in some copper to turn seared brick into seared cobblestone. You can also add some glass and make seared glass, and combining bricks will make a seared brick block. Now that you have seared brick, you'll need to make your next crafting station. You'll need 4 seared bricks, 3 seared brick blocks, 1 seared glass, and a furnace to make the melter. This is your first forge, and when powered with fuel, will be used to melt ores and ingots, which we will then pour into molds. This mechanic is the same as the stencil and part builder sequence for tier 1, but will require some extra steps for tiers 2 through 4. With the melter comes 2 more pieces that need made: the casting table and the casting basin. Both are made with 7 seared bricks. The table is made with an N pattern and the basin made with a U pattern. Once you have all your melter pieces placed, add in some fuel, like coal, into the core, and you will see the fuel meter increase. Now you are ready to make higher tier weapons and tools. This process will require you to make casts, which you will pour molten metal into to make new pieces. There are 2 types of casts: temporary sand casts and permanent gold casts. To make the temporary casts, you will need 1 sand. Now place your sand cast in the casting table by holding it in your hand and interacting with the table. Now take your desired material and interact with the melter itself. You will see the molten metal begin to fill. You will need a way to transport, store, and pour your now freshly melted metal. You'd think you could just use a bucket, right? Well, you still can, but for smaller and more intricate amounts, you can now make cans. 1 iron and 2 copper ingots will make an iron can, which can hold 100 MBs worth of molten material. This is equivalent to 1 ore or ingot. 3 copper ingots can make a copper can. This can hold 200 MBs. And a regular bucket can hold 1,000 MBs or 10 molten metal worth. You now have your sand cast in place, and you have some molten metal ready to pour. You'll now need to decide which part you want to make, and the part has to be made out of stone. Bone and wood will not convert into higher tier pieces. Take the part, interact with the casting table again, and this will place the piece in the sand. Now take your can and interact with the casting table once more. This will pour the can onto the piece to recast it in your new material. Once it hardens, you can interact with the table again to pick up your piece. These sand casts will be consumed after one use, but if you want to skip that step, you can make permanent casts using gold. To make these, instead of putting the sand cast down first, place your stone piece in the casting table. Then take some molten gold out of the melter and pour it over the casting table. This will consume the stone tool piece and leave you with a part cast that can be used indefinitely. And now that is essentially where the Lite version of the add-on ends. You get a good feel for how to create new tool parts, combine them, melt a few materials, and make some casting molds. But if you continue on to the full version, you will unlock a much larger forge, new ores, new materials, and higher crafted tier items. Take a book and combine it with one of those seared bricks, and you will unlock the next step in your progression called Mighty Smelting. Speaking of new ores, Tinkers also added 2 naturally spawning ores to the game, and those are cobalt and ardite. Both of these can be naturally found in the Nether. They will randomly generate around you, so make sure to go back through your tunnels and already explored areas because more of these have likely spawned. Using cobalt, you can make yourself a brand new set of armor on the anvil. This set is slightly stronger than the base iron armor, durability-wise, and is blue, but this set can be altered using any of the other alloys in the add-on to create more colorful versions. However, according to the books, these color variants don't improve the armor stats at all, it's just for looks. So with your melter now up and running, you'll be able to upgrade your tools and weapons to Tier 2. Tier 2 is iron, gold, and 2 new types of metals, pig iron and rose gold. As for the Tier 2 traits, iron gives you the magnetic perk, which when equipped will pull items to you. Gold grants a speed buff. Pig iron grants you the trait called tasty, which reduces your hunger depletion. And lastly, rose gold will give you increased XP from defeating mobs and mining ore. But where do I get these new materials from, you ask? You're going to need to make yourself a new crafting station called an alloy crafter. This little fireplace is where you will combine ores and make Tier 3 and 4 materials. This includes new materials like the amethyst bronze, queen slime, slime steel, heptazon, and manulin, as well as some new combinations like raw netherite blend. But in order to forge gear using these higher tier materials, you'll need to make a more efficient forge. To start, you'll need to use your melter. Place a seared brick block inside the casting basin. Next, take a bucket of molten copper and pour it into the basin on top of the block. Wait for it to cool, and you will now have a smeltery controller. This is the brain of your new forge. Placing it on the ground will lay out a pattern for the rest of the forge. As you can see, you will also need 2 other pieces, a tank and a drain. The tank can be made with 8 seared bricks and 1 glass, and the drain with 4 seared bricks and 2 copper. The pattern laid out by the controller shows the tank needs to go on the left and the drain on the right, but the rest of the pattern can be made with any combination of seared bricks you'd like. I'd recommend adding some seared glass somewhere in the middle so that you can see what's happening inside. If built correctly, the guidelines will disappear. Once your forge is assembled, take 2 buckets of lava and fill the tank by interacting with it. If everything is built properly, you will see the smeltery controller light and you are ready to go. This forge acts the same as the melter. Take the ingot or ore that you want to melt and interact with the controller. In order to collect your liquids, take a can or a bucket and interact with the drain. You are now able to upgrade your weapons and tools to Tier 3. Tier 3 is amethyst bronze, diamond, cobalt, slime steel, and ardite. These all have unique traits as well. Amethyst bronze gives you the soulbound trait, which basically is the opposite of Curse of Vanishing, meaning the item will not disappear on death. Diamond will give your items the diamond trait, which gives them increased durability. Cobalt grants Killager, which will give you a small chance to receive emeralds when defeating or killing villagers and pillagers. Slime steel will grant you Stuck, which slows enemies. And finally, ardite will grant you Smeltery, which will auto-smelt ores when mined, and it also burns enemies when hit. Now there is still another step in order to upgrade your gear one more time to Tier 4. These alloys and metals are much harder and require you to increase the temperature of your forge higher than regular lava can get. You'll need to get your hands on the head of a blaze. Now, how do you do that? Well, a unique trait of the cleaver is that it has a chance to decapitate enemies. There are actually 25 mob heads that you can collect and even wear. But the important one here is the blaze head. Once you've gotten the head, take it to the casting basin of your melter. Just how you made the Meltry controller, place the head inside and pour a bucket of lava over it. After a second or two, it will change color and become blazing lava. Now you can get your forge to burn at the hottest temp possible and melt tier 4 materials. Those are netherite, queen slime, heptazone, and manulin. And the tier 4 traits are guarding from netherite, which negates any knockback effects, bounce from queen slime, which is basically a super jump with a little bit of feather falling so you don't take fall damage, float from heptazone, which sends your enemies into the air when you hit them, and plunder from manulin, which is an enhanced version of looting and fortune combined. Unfortunately, netherite is still as convoluted to make as it is in vanilla. You still need to use a netherite smithing upgrade to combine it with a diamond tool piece on a smithing table, just like you do with armor. Melting netherite is only good for making repair kits and can be used for skipping a crafting step when making ingots. In your travels, you may also now begin to see a wandering tinker in your world, who has the option to sell mob heads, some of the crafting materials needed in the early stages of building a forge, and the option to turn nuggets back into raw materials, all in exchange for emeralds. Now you have all the knowledge to become a fine tinker and make magnificent weapons and tools. But there is still more. Combining a book and a diamond will unlock the next book called modifiers. This will take your gear to the next level by allowing you to add extra modifiers or bonuses. You'll need to make a modifier work table with some more seared brick and any type of stone. Next, you will need to make yourself a blank modifier template. These will look like netherite smithing templates, but gray. With your template, you can then combine it with other materials to make new modifier templates to then add to your weapon. The recipes can all be found within the crafting menu, and there is a total of 18 modifiers, including one that can be used to remove modifiers. These modifiers are Bane, which adds Bane of the Arthropods, Bright, which creates a light source from your weapon or tool, Electrifying, chance to summon lightning, Explosive, mine a 3x3, Lucky, adds fortune and looting, Pushed, adds knockback, Rapid, adds haste, Reinforced, adds unbreaking, Sharp, adds sharpness, Silky, adds silk touch, Smitey, adds smite, Soaked, gives water breathing, Sponge, allows the player to absorb a 3x3 area of water, Starstruck, has a 5% chance to drop a netherite star from hostile mobs, Steel, gives regeneration, Tough, gives resistance, and Utilimine, which acts as tree capper or vein miner. Once you have your modifier crafted and you want to apply it to your weapon, simply place your weapon on the table by interacting with it, and then repeat the process by holding the modifier. You can apply a total of 3 per item. When hovering over the item, you can see all the modifiers on a tool or weapon, and how many slots it has left. That is everything you'll need to know about the forging aspect of this add-on. But we're not done yet. Combining a book with a slime ball will unlock the Gadgets book. Tinkers also added 5 new biomes to the game with semi-new mobs, new blocks, new plants, and new items. But these aren't your average procedurally generated ones you find in Minecraft. When breaking vegetation or blocks like grass, clay, or mud, or warped veins in the nether, or even endstone, you have a chance to get one of these slime beans: Earth, Terra, Sky, Scarlet, and Ender. When you finally get one of these, place it on its respective block to spawn a new mini slime biome. Be careful when placing these though, as it will overwrite any blocks nearby, so don't plant it inside your base. Each one of these new biomes will come with a slime spawner that will spawn a new type of slime, and each slime will drop a new slime ball that can be combined to make congealed slime. Combining a few slime balls and a block of congealed slime with some string will make a new weapon type called a slime sling. Each one of these has unique abilities. The earth slime sling, when aimed at the ground, will flip you into the air. The sky slime sling will send you flying in the direction that you shoot. The scarlet slime sling will send mobs flying instead of you, and the ender slime sling kind of acts like an ender pearl and will teleport you to wherever you've aimed, granted that there is a safe block to land on. There is no sling for the Terra Slimes, however. There is a sixth slime in the creative menu, which I have not been able to find out how to make or access, called the Ichor Slime. This one is orange and does have a sling if you combine all other 4 into one, making me think that either it's something special and is still being worked on, or it was just extra and never got fully finished. Speaking of slime, there's even a suit of armor that can be crafted with new slime. If you take congealed ender slime and put it in your smeltery, you can get a liquid version of it. Tossing either the Tinker's Goggles, a Cobalt chest plate, a Shulker shell, or a rabbit's foot into the casting basin and pouring this new liquid ender slime over them will make this new set of armor. The book states that other uses for this liquid slime may be discovered in the future. Whatever that means. Not the liquid slime, but the congealed slime has some other uses in the add-on. When adding them into potions, they will make some very interesting combinations. A slime potion, which gives you slowness, but at the same time resistance to. Potion of ender slime, which will slow you, but give you levitation. Sky slime, slows you, but gives you a jump boost. Potion of magma, which is just a different version of fire resistance. Potion of Scarlet Slime, which will apply mining fatigue, but grant you a health boost. And a Potion of Venom, which poisons you, but gives you strength? I'm not sure what you would use these for, but maybe if you turn them into splash potions, they could have some uses in PvP? I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, let me know down in the comments. Slings, slime potions, and slime armor aren't the only gadgets in this book, though. You also have 4 new throwable items. The Glow Ball, made with snowballs and glow dust, which will be thrown to light up an area for a short time. The EFLN, which is made by combining a piece of flint and gunpowder. This will make a small explosive grenade. Then 2 different throwing stars, the Flint Shuriken and the Quartz Shuriken. The Flint ones deal slightly less damage but have a higher knockback, while the Quartz ones have less knockback but do much more damage because they're sharper. Quick side note, but you're probably asking yourself, wow, those cabinets look really nice. I wonder what add-on those are from. And no, they're not from a furniture add-on. These were not included in the books if I remember correctly, but there are 3 new storage cabinets that you can make. Combining a regular chest, some wood, sticks, and a blank template, you can make this nice wooden cabinet. Sub the sticks for lapis for the blue and purple one, and finally change the blank template for a golden cast, some seared brick, and 1 seared brick block to make the golden one. Each one of these cabinets has the storage capacity of a single chest. Last but not least, there is a new way to cook food in this add-on. The drying rack is a new way to make jerky from all of your favorite meats, even rotten flesh, which I found to be extremely helpful. I always just threw it away, but now it is an extremely easy and effective way to get your hunger back. Just put the meat on the drying rack, and after a few seconds it will change to jerky. Each one of these pieces of jerky will replenish up to 3 or more hunger, and to make the drying rack, you just need a few sticks, so it's really easy to get early on. There are over 1,500 combinations of pieces to make and forge together in this add-on. Not to mention the hundreds of new blocks, new mobs, new gadgets, and hours of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed playing this add-on and trying to figure out all the odds and ends. I don't think the developers are finished with adding things to this yet either. But that is everything from the Tinker's Construct, step by step on how to make your way from a novice crafter to a master tinker. Let me know down in the comments if I lost you at any point, or if you're having issues making your way through. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more add-on guides and walkthroughs. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Wolf, out!